Hello. Today, our task is to discuss global HR strategies, a comparative analysis of IHRM practices in IT sectors. We have chosen four countries, which Pakistan, China, France, and US. How HRM practices being going on these countries. And next, we will discuss the analysis between these countries and different ways how they are managing and how practice are going on. At the end, we will discuss key findings and then references. Let's move to next slide. Next slide is overview of IRHM in IT sector in global context. Culture. The main thing, first one we have a culture. Cultural values influence how employees react to HR policies. For example, rewards, training, feedback. The degree to which HRM aligns with local cultural norms determine how engaged workers feel. IRHM in global context, the tech sector relies on IHRM to manage remote teams, digital training, and cross-border hiring. Balancing global HR goals with local need ensures productivity and legal alignments. Tech is globally viable due to rapid innovation, digital infrastructure, and cross-cultural collaboration potential. Here, let's discuss then further regional differences. Definitely, when we are discussing IHRM, the multicultural people involved with our workforce, manpower, so there are cultural difference always there. So, cultural regional difference are here. Pakistan emphasize loyalty and hierarchy, especially in family-run businesses. China follows a collectivist culture with top-down leadership and group-focused decisions. Whereas France operates under strict legal framework with formal structure and strong worker protections. USA values individualism, flexibility, and performance-based HR practices. Moving forward, let's discuss HRM practices in Pakistan. HR philosophy in Pakistan: hire and retain top tech talent, gender segregated spaces, blend modern HR with local values by balancing merit, hierarchy, and religious sensitivity. There are some key practices going on if you're talking about Pakistan HR practices. There are key practices. Keeping HR rules clear to study so the company can grow and stay strong. Organization provide free training to develop employee skills. HR functions are managed using technology for efficiency. How does it impact IT sectors? Long working hours and lack of flexibility lead burnout, high turnover in fast-paced tech environments. A strong hierarchical culture limit open communication and limit the junior developer from openly sharing their opinions. Rewarding loyalty builds a stable and long-term workforce. Then moving forward, organizational behavior. Highly gender segregated environment. Older employees were less committed compared to their younger counterparts. The workforce reflects a strong hierarchical system. Family ties and social connections play a huge role in promotion and recruitment. Gender imbalance: 90% male, very low female participation is found in the average Pakistani software house. Then best practices, if you're talking about Pakistan, HRM practices, the best practices are integrating performance management with organizational culture. Employees respect the hierarchical structure, which help the seniors make better decisions. Long-term employment and loyalty are rewarded, especially in long-running family businesses. Yes, with along these best practices, there are some challenges as well which we need to discuss. Sure, challenges. A study by the Islamic University of Islamic revealed that women face limits in both promotions and lack access to male-dominated networks. Lack of merit-based positions, favoritism seen among the head of staff. Long working hours and lack of flexible schedule impact employees' well-being. These are some challenges. We discuss best practices, and as wherever we have best practice, always there are improvement chances. And but in Pakistan, there are yes, for sure there are challenges which we cannot ignore and highlighted here. Moving forward to our next slide, let's discuss China. HRM practices in China. HR philosophies. Chinese organizations are making great efforts to define and improve employees' well-being specific to Chinese cultural values. Collectivism over individualism. Here a study in 2017. Preferences for long-term employment and loyalty. Let's discuss further key HR practices. Employee training is prioritized, focused on ethical practices, quality, and local community support. Leaders make most decisions. Again, repeating, leaders make most decisions, employees follow instructions. How does these practices impact an IT sector? Training program help tech workers learn new skills. Centralized decision making may limit creative input. Cross-border communication challenges can affect global tech operations. Then organizational behaviors. Employees tend to avoid often conflict and prioritize workplace harmony. Decision making is often centralized, top-down management style. Let's discuss best practices of HRM practices in China. The workplace policies mostly revolve around improving employee training. Employees are expected to work in team. Chinese workplace places a strong emphasis on the importance of teamwork. Many Chinese companies are using digital tools to improve training and performance of their employees. Here, let's discuss there are challenges as well. Balancing global HR policies with local Chinese practices, struggle with effective communication and teamwork between global branches, managing cultural differences in international teams. Furthermore, dealing with local laws and restrictive business rules. These are the challenges if we're talking about China, HRM practices. So these are challenges as well there. Our next slide is related to France, HRM practices in France. Let's discuss first HR philosophies. In France, have a formal structure with a clear authority level, emphasize on equality and legal framework, strong labor laws. Key where we discuss key HR practices. First one, top-down management style, clear drive between permanent and temporary workers, paid leaves along with maternity and paternity leave. Actually, most of the countries, if you saw talking about IRHMS and most of the countries, local laws support this paid leave annually that and every employee must have some leave and which should be paid. And this is good for employees and good for employees. Then how it impact? Let's discuss how does it impact IT sector. Strong worker protections attract skilled professionals. The division between permanent and temporary role can create internal friction and unequal treatment. Legal recruitment for training boosts ongoing skill developments. Then organizational behaviors, low organizational commitment and low general compliance. Workplace environment and culture do affect employees' growth, but not as strong as in some other countries. An advanced educational background is highly respected and regarded. Best practice, let's discuss best practices. France IHRM rules and regulations are strictly followed in France by both employees and employers. Employee committees that regularly meet with management to discuss work condition, their daily issues, and other things which they face, and even some good suggestions. It's a good way, by the way, if your committee and workforce can meet regularly to management. There are law limiting employees. working hours, promoting work-life balance. Challenges: discrimination due to religion, Muslim headdress often spark discomfort among employees. Many French employees are resistant to change, low work commitment. French companies have rigid hierarchy. So here we discuss France HRM practices in France. Moving forward, we will discuss on next slide. We will start HRM practices in USA. In this slide, let's start USA HRM practices in USA. HR philosophy, first of all, as usual, with as we discussed in previous three countries, Pakistan, China, and France. Here also we start with HR philosophies. Organizational behavior in USA emphasize individualism, competitive leadership, and performance-based practices. Promotions, raises, and rewards are based on performance rather than seniority. This is, by the way, the good practice among other countries. Key HR practices. Our next we'll discuss key HR practices. Encourage flexible working hours and remote work options. Department level autonomy. Provide safe way for employees to report discrimination. How does it impact IT sector? The HRM practice in USA. Let's discuss how does it impact IT sectors. Remote work and flexible hours attract a global talent pool. A performance-driven culture motivates employees. The risk of racial discrimination discourages certain employees. Organizational behavior. Promotion and rewards are based on performance. High focus on diversity and inclusivity. Employees are encouraged to share opinions. Then moving forward, let's discuss best practices and HRM practices in USA. Performance-based reward system. Most organizations promote diversity and inclusion. Open communication between management and employees. By the way, this point is very, very necessary for each organization. There must be a ways or means periodic, weekly, or whenever you want to discuss in agency or in good opinion. There must be an open communication between management and employees. Then moving forward to goal oriented work culture. Let's discuss moving forward. Let's discuss challenges. Fast-paced and stress-inducing jobs, high work-life imbalance, resistance to hierarchy, racial pay gap in downturn for Hispanic, Asian, and blacks. By the way, with some are best practices and some are minor challenges as well in USA. Moving forward, here we have a comparative analysis among Pakistan, China, France, USA. First of all, we'll discuss Hofstede Cultural Index. When we're talking about Pakistan, high power distance, high collectivism, moderate uncertainty avoidance. China, high collectivism, high power distance, long-term orientation. France, moderate individualism, high uncertainty avoidance, hierarchical. USA, high individualism, low power distance, low uncertainty avoidance. Next, model of organizational behavior. When we're talking about Pakistan, loyalty and commitment valued, family run and team oriented culture. China, group oriented behavior with a focus on harmony and seniority. When we discuss model of organizational behavior for France, there are formal rules-based structure with legal inclusion. Next, USA, performance-driven, goal-oriented, flexible structure. Next, number three, leadership style. Respect for authority. First of all, Pakistan. In Pakistan, leadership style is that respect for authority, traditional paternalistic style. In China, downtown top-down leadership with emphasis on group success. Moving forward, leadership style in France, centralized decision making, but legally involves worker committees. Then USA, decentralized, participative, autonomy, autonomy based leadership. Number four, HR challenges, oblique training and development. In Pakistan, challenges resistance to formal HR practices, training, informal loyalty focused HR challenge and training development. When we discuss on China, there are challenge balancing seniority versus merit training, strong focus on digital training and mentorship. Moving forward, HR challenges training and development in France. In France, challenges rigid labor law, training structured formal development program. Then moving forward to USA, challenges burnout due to competitiveness, training investment in leadership, and continuous development. Next, in comparative analysis, at number five, implies engagement practices, public decision making factors. Engagement is low for women in Pakistan. Sorry, first of all, let's discuss Pakistan. Engagement is low for women due to glass ceiling, wall barriers, and inclusion from network decision making is top down in family businesses. When we're talking about China, engagement varies due to cultural gaps in global teams, top down decision making dominant. France, engagement limits by rigid hierarchies, decisions are centralized, religious expression may affect inclusion. When we're talking about USA, employee engagement in USA, high engagement for starters, but burnout and resistance to authority reduce sustainability. Decentralized individual focused decisions. Next, number six, innovation in HR system, oblique ethical approach to HRM. First of all, Pakistan. Family run firms resist modern HR practices, poor work life balance, hinders ethics and inclusion. China, rigid regulations limit agility in HR system, ethical challenges in managing cross-cultural norms. Moving forward to France, innovation in HR system and oblique ethical approach in HRM. In France, legal protection of work-life balance, but inflexibility system resist fast HR innovation. When we're talking about USA, fast innovation, but ethical concerns like racial wage gap during downturn exist. Next, organizational behavior theory. If we, when we're talking about Pakistan, organizational behavior theory, and let me highlight it with pointer. Theory X fit many traditional firms that assume low employees initiatives best fit for family owned sectors needing structure. When we're talking about China, Theory XY hybrid works due to seniority plus growing innovation needs fit tech manufacturing sectors. Then organizational behavior theory in France, Theory X allies with former rules and hierarchy, but Theory Y is encouraged for public sector reforms. Next, USA, Theory Y is ideal for tech sector, promotes trust, autonomy, innovation, and self-motivation. Next, at the last, we will discuss suggested best fit based on location and sectors. When we're talking about Pakistan, for Pakistan, traditional businesses, theory X with gradual shift to Y for gender inclusivity. China, hybrid approach respects seniority X but train for innovation Y in goal tech roles. France, adopt theory Y in areas needing innovation and equality balanced with regulatory compliances. USA Theory Y fully suits the tech oblique startup environment, sports, autonomy, engagement, and innovations. That was our comparative analysis, which we discussed in detail all four countries China, Pakistan, France, USA, and some suggestions as well. Moving forward, here we will discuss on this slide summary of key findings and future trends in IHRM. Let's start with summary of key findings. Across several countries, culture and values have strong influence over HRM policies, such as strong structural hierarchy in Pakistan and France. Legal factors and labor laws help shape a lot of HR policies across countries as well, such as China and France. Ignoring local context can lead to resistance, low morale, or legal risks. Religious and gender norms affect HR decisions. Normally, if it, for example, challenges with hijab in France, glass ceiling in Pakistan, balancing balancing global HS standards with local practices has been challenging for many countries. Yet these are the key findings in HRM, HR policies or practices in different countries which we discussed. Okay, let's move forward to future trends in IHRM. Internationally, human resource management is rapidly evolving to address the complexities of managing a global workforce. Here are the key trends shaping IHRM: digital transformation and EHRM, global talent mobility and remote work. By the way, this point, global talent and mobility and remote work, is much more involved in modern IHRM. Next, moving forward, cross-cultural competence and diversity, equity, inclusion, data-driven IHRM decisions, compliance and risk management. These are the future trends in IHRM. Here, further, that's all in my presentation. And here in these slides, there we have references which we quote in our presentation, and all board in this slide and next slide as well. We have all references. Here is the second page of references. I think my video is already too long. I try my best to keep it as low as much possible, but it's too long. Anyhow, I need to close here. Thank you. Thanks a lot.